Nestled in the heart of Austria, Salzburg is a city steeped in history, culture, and breathtaking landscapes. Yet, for many Austrians, the story of Salzburg took a surprising turn in 1965 with the release of The Sound of Music. This Hollywood blockbuster brought global fame to their beloved city, forever altering the face of its tourism. Today, Salzburg is synonymous with the Von Trapp family's tale, attracting millions of fans from around the world. But how do Austrians feel about this transformation?
Coming to Salzburg for the first time and being like, oh my gosh, The Sound of Music was filmed here. And knowing all the spots from the movie, nobody knew it. None of the Austrians knew it. I'm like, how can you not know it? So that's changed. They have Sound of Music tours now and things like that.
I love Sound of Music. The music is beautiful. And of course, the story is a real story.
They have these clothes they are wearing there, so that's traditional. And the music, then it's like this.
A beautiful landscape, a nice story, a nun who gets married to a baron, then you have these little children who sing, you have love affairs, then you have the chilling part with the Nazis coming in, and then you have religion. For religious people, maybe they can identify with the nuns and so on.
This is the mixture of music and reality, but the story is a true story, and I think this is a very important story, the Trapp family.
Georg Trapp needed somebody to take care of the kids, and obviously they fell in love. And he was a widower with 7 kids, and then Maria and Georg Trapp got 2 other children, and the 3rd one after they were emigrated to the US. Trapp was very unsuccessful with money. He put all his fortune into a very little bank in the province of Salzburg. There was a bankruptcy and he lost all his monies. And then he had to rent out rooms in their villa.
They were from a good family in Austria, but they didn't have money, as so many other families after World War I, because the money was gone. And Trapp was in the military man, so there was no military any longer after 1918. So they had to find some other possibilities to earn money. And of course he had these many kids. And the story is the true one. And all this Nazi stuff, it's true. And I think this is the problem why Sound of Music in Austria is unknown.
Heil Hitler.
Heil Hitler.
I have just come from the house of Captain Von Trapp. Incidentally, the only one in the neighborhood not flying the flag of the Third Reich since the Anschluss, but we have dealt with that situation.
I had not known that this movie existed until I got a scholarship for New York in the late 1980s. I think it was 1989. The first time somebody mentioned this movie to me, and I saw it, but I saw it when I returned to Austria in a youth hostel where there were a lot of American tourists in this youth hostel, and they showed it, I think, every Wednesday, and I had to go there to see this movie.
Here in St. Gilgen to some touristic souvenir shop, just asking for the videotape, because this was the time before DVD, from Sound of Music, and they told me, yes, we have it, but you won't be happy with it. And they told them, ask why. Yeah, because this is just a videotape for the American system. And they told the lady, sorry, but I'm living here. I want to watch the Sound of Music. Yes, this is impossible because you have not the right recorder to play it. So this is interesting that in Austria, nobody wanted to hear something about this Nazi stuff. This is the reality about Austria. But in the States, this was not so big thing, and the Trapp family was more in the focus.
And none of my friends had ever seen it. And when we started to look at this, to watch this movie, we could not believe, because, you know, this has nothing to do with Austrian history, Austrian culture. I was laughing. It was just, I know Americans get hurt when I say that, but...
For many Austrians, the portrayal of Nazis in The Sound of Music serves as a reminder of a painful era. The film's emphasis on the Von Trapp family's defiance opens up dialogues about the broader impact of the Nazi era in Austrian society.
But I think in Austria, in the 60s, people also wouldn't have accepted the film because there were hardly any other films who dealt with the subject of National Socialism and of people who had to flee or were expelled. So people, I think, would have rejected it at this time also from this point of view.
I think Austrians didn't know about the existence of Sound of Music. This was really something it was out of their mind. And then the Sound of Music tour started, and so of course we see all these buses with Sound of Music and all these Americans and Japanese people going at these tours singing all the time Sound of Music, and everybody knows these songs, of course. These are really famous, but this is not Austrian life, so we are not connected with Sound of Music because this is another world.
Come on guys, there's a high note at the end. Let's all go for the high note together. Everybody!
There were all these tours driving around, and so I didn't know that it has such a huge impact in US.
Every American has the right to have his image about Austria. Austria is not that important than many of us actually think. And we also have so many fantasies, so many prejudices about America and our own images. This always is going on. And I think for me it's more interesting why so many Americans, but also Dutch, Chinese, and even Israeli like this movie so much. I think this is a very important question, or interesting question.
Yeah, Austrians do have a hard time with the way they're portrayed, I think, in the movie. But it's true, and I think that you need to sometimes have that moment of truth. Okay, yes, this is the past, and it's in the past. What can we learn from it? Why does the rest of the world love it so much? It's a basic human story, and if an Austrian can get past a cultural guilt trip that they have about it, and be like, okay, through this movie, able to give so much hope,